new episode, know you probably waiting. Plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned into Bro Conversations. Back in this bitch, Bro Conversations, it is what it is. I ain't gotta say much more. Another smoke sesh, another goddamn sip sesh, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start it off, man, with the, wrote down a few topics before I got here.
Hell yeah.
Source from World Star Hip Hop from CBS News. Oh, I fuck with this shit too. 2 New York nurses sold fake vaccination cards made over $1.5 million in 3 months. but authorities found over $900,000 cash in Julie's crib. Julie is one of the people. It was one of the doctors or whatever. They face up to 7 years if convicted. They have obviously been apprehended. Like I said, shout out to Julie Duviano, and I believe that was a nurse who owns Wild Child Pediatric Healthcare in Amityville. Hope I said it right. It is what it is. And also shout out to Marissa Uraro, her assistant.
7 years, huh?
They face up to 7 years. They probably don't get 7 years, but
that's some white collar right there,
no
man.
cap. But the thing about it is, like, the only reason they fucked up is you should not shit where you eat. Why would you have the money in your apartment, you dumb ass bitch? You should have put that shit in a safe deposit box, or put that shit in the dirt, or put vacuum sealed the money 2 or 3 times. Put that shit in the dirt, so if and when you did go to jail, you can come back and still have a life to live after you get out for possibly up to 7 years. That's the only thing that I feel like that they went wrong with the shit. Obviously, you're not gonna keep doing that shit for 10, 12 years. Niggas is gonna find out. They said, I believe she was trapping them shits out her own house. So it was a lot of foot traffic in there. So a lot of nosy ass neighbors, they was like, yeah, what the fuck is happening? And they end up calling the police, and then they uncovered all this shit. What you think about that shit, bro?
I'm like, damn, I be watching people steal like a couple grand to get 7 years definite, bro. I'm like, 7 years for the $950K, basically. I'm like, I know it only takes up like a briefcase, realistically. Like, you'd think it would take up a lot more room. It hides pretty well.
In hundreds, probably.
In hundreds, it hides
in 20s,
pretty
that
well.
Shit would probably look big as fuck, though.
You know, 50,000 is like this big in hundreds. It's like real small. You can hold it. So
they probably had a hell of a bunch of 20s though, because like I said, they was you know, they was selling them to regular people. I'm pretty sure when all rich people to just. Because if it was rich people, it would be like a.
I'm amazed that they were doing foot traffic out of their own business office or out of their own home.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you should never shit where you eat. That's the only reason that they fucked up. They should have had a safe deposit box, or they should have.
Well, you made $950,000. You should go buy a separate business and actually make it a whole money laundering business.
Yeah, they said it made 1.5, but the Fed, or when they rushed her house, they found 900. So that's the lion's share of the shit. So even if they did have the other shit stashed, it's like, man, you coming home, that really ain't gonna be shit compared to the bullshit that you about to go through. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, shout out to them bitches. But like I said, they fucked up, bro. You never shit where you eat, bro.
Yeah.
You're supposed to bury that shit. Tell your grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that shit in her attic or some shit.
I would have thought by making $100,000, he'd maybe think the heat would be coming on to you at some point.
But think about it. They splitting it presumably between 2, or at least those were the 2 that got caught. Maybe it was more. They splitting it between 2 people. $100,000 is only 50 racks. That's probably like a year worth salary probably for them. Maybe I don't know what they was making.
I guess it depends on how much they were selling a card for. Because
I think they said it was like 300 or 150 for kids. I think it was something like that. 300 for adults, 150 for kids.
See, that's what I mean. That's a lot of people to get to 100,000. You would literally have to have like a good 1,000 people pull up. Couple thousand?
Probably a couple thousand for it to be a meal for sure. For sure. But yeah, though, man. Shout out to what's their name? Shout out to motherfucking Julie Duviano, and Marissa Urado. I believe that's what it say. I believe that's her name. If it ain't, oh well, sue me. Anyway, let's go ahead and slide to the next goddamn topic. Sourced from hotnewhiphop.com. T.I. the rapper starts doing stand-up. Quote from his post on Instagram says, in about 2 weeks of doing stand-up comedy full time every day, 2 to 3 shows a night sometimes, I've learned from and earned the respect and approval of some of the funniest people I know in this shit. He wrote, and I can honestly say I've had nights where they tore my ass up and nights where I was figuring this shit out. And I want to just say shout out to motherfucking T.I. I'm a big fan of him. I'm gonna keep it way too hot with you though. The only album I ever heard, I'm slurring. The only album that I ever heard from him was the Libra shit, and that was his most recent album. It was super crazy. He had a verse with his son Domani on it, like super lyrical, super crazy, but still kept the trap shit. T.I. is one of the only OGs of niggas that been in the game that can balance it both like a motherfucking cat on a tightrope, really easy and real good. And even further than that, I used to listen to his podcast expeditiously. And I ain't gonna lie, for me, I can listen to a couple episodes, but for me, it wasn't my cup of tea because he kind of acts like a comedian on his goddamn podcast. Cause he takes up so much of the time. Maybe I do it too, but he takes so much of the time speaking about how he thinks of stuff. When he has guests on, it's like he gives them minimum amount of time to speak on topics and shit like that. I don't know, maybe that's just a part of the shit. But yeah, though, I feel like that personality trait and the shit that he carries and the shit he presents is very good, and I feel like he probably does very well on stage and shit like that. It probably translates very well of him being a rapper, doing this shit for decades and decades and years. I'm pretty sure he really got.
I got some stories.
Most definitely. Yeah, you're right. Most definitely some stories and shit like that. Some funny ass shit. And he's a very funny individual. Shout out to T.I., man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, at first I've never heard of the man, so I was going to be like, shit, he's got...
You never heard of T.I.?
Nah, bro. I know. But I was going to say...
That's insane.
He's got the respect. I don't know if that means he's funny or not, but as you describe, I want to say he's probably got, with that much experience, he's probably got some funny ass fucking stories and shit to tell. Yeah. I mean, that world is not...
It ain't no joke. Like I read in that shit. Like I'm glad that he had the humble approach with it, because a lot of motherfuckers think just that. And the same shit go from YouTube to like I said, I'll be listening to a lot of comedians podcasts. I listen to Joe Rogan a lot and shit like that. Joey Diaz and Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer and shit like that. And they are real true comedians to this shit. And whenever they do give their opinion on motherfuckers that turn from YouTube content creators, then they try to get on stage, it's a very big disconnect, because with YouTube you can edit your shit and like speed up this part, cut out this part and shit like that. If you're not shooting it straight, like how I shoot my video, I just shoot it straight and it just go with it. It just go how it go. But if you're not doing that, bitch, you can't manipulate a crowd to be like, you know what I'm saying? You really gotta have the skill and really be able to build your shit, you know what I'm saying, with it. So it's a real craft.
It's a lot of confidence and a lot of being able to use your words correctly, because if you can't control the stutter or can't pronunciate what you need to say really quickly, you're right. You don't get a fucking edit button. There's no fucking Sony Vegas for stage. Nigga. You get a fucking boo.
Oh God.
So. Yeah, it takes it's a lot different effort, you know? And the editing, there's a lot to be said. That's a whole different skill. To be able to be a great editor is a great skill to have. Exactly. But it's way different than being up on stage. It's a completely different experience. And, you get booed, you get told great things after, you get told terrible things after.
You might get beat up.
You might get beat up, and you get to use your audience as part of the joke if you're really good, you know what I mean? So...
If motherfuckers really know about comedy, I think it was last year, DC, you might have heard about it, DC Young Fly, it was a heckler or whatever, somebody that was talking shit when he was doing stand-up. I think they walked up on the stage and he beat their ass and then continued with his set. He didn't leave. He continued with his set, continued doing what the fuck he was doing after he beat their ass and shit like that. And it's, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
a flex. That's a fucking flex.
Yeah, no cap. Like it just go to show you, like that shit was a dope moment in the culture. And then
the audience was happy.
Oh yeah, that was so dope after that. Even if he had some subpar material, he probably killed just on that alone.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you just knocked the nigga. I think he knocked him out. He just knocked the nigga out in front of him.
And kept going.
Yeah, and then you knocked out the crowd after that. It's like, sheesh. You got to give him his respect for sure. But, like, even just to say that, like, for everybody, it won't go that way. A lot of people, you can get slept. You remember how XXXTentacion, rest in peace.
Yeah.
He got down on stage. He was singing the song, whatever. A fan, a hater, whatever, ran up on the stage, knocked him out. He was knocked out. You know, it don't always go in your favor or whatever. You know, you really got to have both. Like, that's both sides of the goddamn coin that DC displayed. But yeah, though, like, it can really go however.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Hex, but shit reminds me. I've seen clips and shit of like rappers getting their dreads put on and shit and stuff like that. Yeah, it gets. Those things get wild, you know. That's what you gotta be careful though about huge crowds.
Yeah.
Because big crowds like that lead to like riots and stuff like that because people genuinely get so excited and there's party drugs and shit like that.
type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just, you know, that shows you that groupthink and group energy is a real fucking thing.
Right.
Like people really do feed off each other's energy and people will fucking all accidentally riot together just because they're so ramped up and so fucking like just the screaming and the intoxication of the event, you know?
Yeah.
Gets those motherfuckers ready to go.
That's super facts. Super facts. But next topic on the docket. Source again from World Star Hip Hop. 4 men have been arrested and charged in connection with the death of Michael K. Williams, the actor who was known for playing the role of Omar Little on the HBO drama series The Wire. He died from a drug overdose in September 2021 last year. 2021, my bad, last year, at the age of 54. And four men accused of being in a part of a drug trafficking crew in Brooklyn have been charged with narcotics conspiracy involving the distribution of fentanyl-laced heroin. First of all, if he died, let's get this out of the way. If he died from heroin, bitch, you can already overdose on that shit. Probably within the same amount of doing fentanyl. I would guess because those are the top of the shit. Where it's like motherfuckers, bitch. We all done seen Breaking Bad. Like, what was his name? Jesse's girlfriend told Jesse to lay on his goddamn side just in case he threw up because he overdosed. He wouldn't choke on his goddamn throw up. Like, that shit and fentanyl, that's in the same goddamn tier, if you ask me. That's tier 1. Second of all, bro, I hate hearing these stories. Like, we heard this shit from Juice WRLD and all this other shit. That's super fucking lame. How the police only care when it's somebody that's fucking famous. If I overdose...
And that's what's my fucking problem with it, yeah.
If I caught from the same motherfucking dealer and I overdosed, oh, you just a nigga. Like, it don't matter.
It's not
But just
great.
because motherfuckers is famous and shit like that, I really hate that we see these cases. Fuck that shit. Those people should not be motherfucking charged like they're capital murders or some fucking
it's like
bullshit.
trying to fake glamorize the police as if they've really got it under control,
Yeah,
but it's not really what they are able to do for the rest of the population.
And then we hear like story, like even with that shit, I saw the videos. This politician was like, "We need to get these men off the streets. They're fucking up our communities." It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, how many other nameless people has the same exact situation happen, but you ain't do a goddamn thing about it, motherfucker? I hate that shit.
People will start making those fucking chemicals in their basement the moment they're not accessible to them.
And you're taking heroin. That's up there with crack, if you ask me. That's up with meth, if you ask me. That's up there. I wouldn't say coke, but you know what I'm saying. That's up with crack and meth. Like, bro, you taking the strongest of the strong. And in the interview way before he even overdosed, he had admitted to his, struggle with drug issues and shit like that. It's not there. What if that was their only time serving him?
I was gonna say, we need the problem is not the fucking drug dealers on the streets. The problem is that we don't have any fucking available facilities
or
to
regulation
help
like
people. Yeah.
Man. We don't have no regulation.
Because if we make all drugs illegal, the only difference is what's gonna happen is people are gonna go back to the fucking 1800s where they were making their bootleg whiskey in the mountains and making their drugs in their basements in the fucking Midwest and just all the same shit we've already seen happen before.
Exactly.
People don't stop doing drugs when you make them illegal and you stop people from being able to get them. They just start making even shittier, more higher toxic drugs. They make unstabilized, you start seeing more basements blow up, you start seeing more kids get hurt, because now there's not an accessible, safe drug, actually purer form. Now you got people making this shit in their basements, and they're dying from it and shit. Like,
and that's where we go back to, I believe, last year or the year before that, it was a few states that actually made shit like acid legal. Shit like, I think it was other drugs. Don't get me wrong, but acid, that was, the people I heard talk about it last year, they was like, oh yeah, psychedelics, they was making that legal. They basically made a whole bunch of drugs like that shit legal, and that's smart because that creates an environment where you don't gotta buy black market, especially when it comes to harder shit. I feel like we can, if it really come down to it, we can chill off the black market. It ain't a lot of people putting fentanyl on weed, you know what I'm saying? You hear about a one-off case, every now and then or whatever, but especially with these other drugs and shit like that, motherfuckers want to mix it with acetone, mix it with embalming fluid, coke, crack, whatever the fuck. Like, motherfuckers need to have that shit regulated if they want to live a long life, maybe a lot of addicts or whatever. I don't know if this the minority or the majority. They just do it. They just don't give a fuck about their life. They don't care how long they live. But I feel like there's a lot of people that do that shit. They just get caught on the cycle, and they're functioning addicts. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm like, Canada has got us beat. They've got these clinics where people can go there, take the drugs, and if they start overdosing, what happens? Well, there's someone with Narcan 4 feet away, and then if shit like that happens too often, they genuinely look at him and they're like, dude, you're killing yourself.
Right.
And it's like they get proper treatment and stuff like that, where it's like, we're going to wean you off of this slowly.
Exactly.
Because people die from just completely cold turkey and heroin.
Exactly. All these hard drugs, motherfuckers is unsupervised and shit like that. I feel like shit, the smartest thing we can do, niggas, obviously they're not going to stop doing it. It don't matter. Like just like you said, if they take it back to the, the moonshining days and shit like that.
Right.
When this shit was illegal, motherfuckers are still gonna find it, and they just gonna find the stronger shit, because the moonshining shit is stronger than way stronger than the regular liquor that motherfuckers would get. So it's like that could cause more health issues and shit like that just on its own.
Exactly, because when people started learning how to make it and shit like that, they realized they could make whatever the fuck they wanted to after they got good enough.
Same thing go with coke, same thing go with heroin and shit like that. Motherfucker, with shit like that, you need a regulation, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like they got the weed, you need a regulation, in other states and shit like that. Otherwise, you're gonna deal with a whole lot of these one-off cases when it's these rich motherfuckers that actually have power and clout and shit like that. And it's super lame. Like I said, it's super lame how these motherfuckers try to hop in like they Superman. Oh, we gotta get the drugs off the street. But you weren't worried about it before this shit.
Weed's got a whole economy, and while a lot of these higher strength drugs wouldn't have the same economy, there would be better medical income and stuff like that. I feel like nurses would be getting paid more and shit like that because there would be more necessity to be making these drugs. Since clinical use, nurses would be getting paid to help more drug addicted people and shit like that. And it wouldn't just be your basic nurse, but there would be more income in the medical field and stuff like that. I feel like overall it would actually help the economy and shit like that just to legalize it.
Yeah, I heard somebody talk about homelessness in the same exact sense. They said a lot of people, they get paid, you know what I'm saying, to a lot of these heads of charities and shit like that. They get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars to facilitate this money and shit like that. These niggas is living off luxury salaries, but trying, but at the same time their goal, or by face value, it looks like their goal is to help homeless people, but that don't make sense. You don't need to be the highest tier of people, or, you know what I'm saying? You can live a regular life, but a lot of people, they get greedy and money hungry with this shit.
And they hold on to it instead of keeping it going.
That's why if you donate, you really will be smart to do your due diligence and see what type of research you can do and see how much of the percentage of what you do donate will get to the people that you want to affect with it.
What's crazy is some of these guys are so money hungry, it's actually less profitable to be that fucking greedy. Right. If you would just go out of your way to keep building homeless shelters and shit like that, you would build a name for yourself.
Exactly.
And you would keep having this fucking income, you'd keep having these fucking donations, people would know, you're the fucking guy. Mm-hmm. And shit would happen. But I feel like a lot of these guys are just like, no, I like the amount I'm at, I'm just gonna stop now.
Exactly. And, money.
They get lazy and greedy, hell yeah.
Money is one of the worst things when we talk about relationships and shit like that. How many times we done heard it talk about groups and shit like that splitting up for money, and even families. Even it be families be fighting over wills and shit like that. oh no, he loved me more. He didn't even like you, or it'd be the side chick fucking with the wife. Arguing, fighting with the wife or some shit. Oh, he didn't really love you. James didn't really love you. You know what I'm saying? It'd be some weird ass shit. Like, motherfuckers, money is some of the worst shit, especially with motherfuckers that ain't never had it. Or even ain't never had it. Like, motherfuckers don't even have the enlightenment to understand that even if you do get all the money, even if you do get all the will, bitch, how is that going to really affect you in the long run as a person? It's not. It's short term most of the times with people. They get the money, then they spend it, especially broke people, they spend it. We the motherfuckers that influence the economy. We spend the money as soon as we get it. We don't save it. No stocks and bonds, no future, no longevity in this shit.
Yeah, shit's fucking... It's just crazy, because people just want, like... Speaking of that stocks and bonds shit, like, that's why people do that, though, because it's the safest, easiest fucking... Like, you just put your money down. And if you stocks, a little more dangerous. But you do like bonds and shit like that, it's just safe place to make slow money, that passive income, bro.
Bitcoin, NFTs. Speaking of, it's this nigga called, I was watching No Jumper the other day, and on a day podcast, and it's this nigga called Ice Poseidon. You know? Yeah,
I've known about him for years, bro.
You heard about the latest shit?
Nah.
Well, he supposedly, created an NFT for all his fans and shit like that. And
did he pull all the money out?
Thank you. This nigga
happening all the time, y'all stupid.
This nigga created an NFT, had motherfuckers invest, and then like at a certain point he pulled like 800,000 out and said, "Fuck the fans. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm not popping in this shit."
Yo, but of course he did. That's Ice Poseidon's whole fucking thing is that he does shit like that. Yeah. How the hell? Like for like years, man's been doing dumb shit like that. His whole thing for years was going up to people on the streets like
because
he's stupid.
How I found out about him was, I heard that he fucked the sex doll on one of his YouTube streams. You remember that shit? I searched for that video. I was like, what the fuck? There ain't no way this is real.
He is top tier
and I never
old
found
school YouTube now. Yeah. He is top tier old school YouTube, like fucking troll. He basically invented going on the streets with a camera. Yeah. Like, and recording yourself. And I know, not in the vlog sense. I mean like the live streaming with a camera.
Yeah, I heard that when he was doing that, like some of his fans would like he would go into a store. He would
meet up with him and
not even call. That. Like they say he would like go into a coffee shop and his fans would just call the coffee shop and be like, "Is there a dude with a camera? He's a rapist.
He's a rapist. He's got a gun. He's gonna shoot y'all. He's a terrorist."
Right. And he would have to deal with situations like that. But yeah, though, like
but he egged it on. Like that was the thing. He egged it on. He like. Because he makes money off of it. And that's his whole thing is, guys, start, like, don't do that shit, Like, it's, when you overreact and shit like that.
But like, he allows it to keep happening.
He allowed it to keep going on for years. I see. To a point where, like, Twitch got, mad and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, like, people got mad, And he's one of the OG, like, toxic, like, in the street, like, making businesses hate him and shit like that, and making people on the streets hate him
for clicks
while live streaming, like 8 hours of making people hate you. It was insane.
I feel like, bro, that's the way you can most definitely sell your soul. Like if you doing shit specifically and you like you don't want to do it, but it's like, oh, I gotta do it for the fans. Like Boom Gang did that shit. You know what I'm saying? John, formerly known as, but his name's John Gabana.
He's robbed and shit because of that.
Yeah, shit like that. Fuck that. He done got felony cases.
Yeah.
And your dumb ass done provided all the information for the people, bitch. The police don't even gotta intervene. They just gotta lock you, handcuff you, and that's it.
Yeah, and screen record the video where
you done. Yeah. You done. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But yeah, though, man. I'm so glad that era was short-lived. It was like a 3-year period that I can say that it was like, it was super, super hot around Boom was doing that shit. And then deeper than that.
It had a very slow rise.
You remember the put them in a coffin challenge? Motherfuckers would walk into stores and just like fucking backdive on some chips and shit like that.
Oh God, breaking tables.
Or doing like wrestling flips and shit like that. Luckily that was short lived because he was
on the table.
Like breaking shit and just running.
I'm gonna go behind the counter and make my own food.
Right, yeah, shit like that. Motherfuckers don't even know you can end up shot, but it don't matter as long as I get these clicks. Luckily we out of that area because, man, niggas was most definitely getting smoked.
That was what actually came out after that kind of shit was literally pushing people to the point of almost like having guns pulled on them and shit.
Like, trolling was really... 6ix9ine is the epitome of trolling, you know what I'm saying? The epitome of how far motherfuckers can take it. He was dissing King Von after he died. He was doing all this other... He wore his t-shirt.
It's not even funny, but he's just lame.
Crazy. It was, like, crazy. Like, for a nigga that claimed he not tough, and he ain't never claimed that he had guns and shit like that. In all the interviews, it seems he a smart person with a head on his goddamn shoulders. He not walking around with an illegal gun like a dumbass would.
Yeah.
For him to be talking all that shit, it really just showed you how certain rappers are and how tough really motherfuckers really is. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't tough, but running around with an AK in his boxers, bro. This man looked like a fool 24/7, bro.
Okay. But, you know what I'm saying? Look where he is now, bro.
Oh, God.
Off the grid.
Yeah, some 16-year-old girl gets a clip of him and he got to move.
Exactly. Yeah, shit like that. Like, shit like that. But, yeah, the last topic. The saleswoman for the City Department of Education, Jenna Lyle, confirmed a statement that in more than 1,700 campuses in the 5 boroughs of New York, obviously, will participate in Vegan Fridays, which is a part of a public health push under Mayor Eric Adams. On Fridays, students will be able to choose items like black bean rice bowls, spinach and cranberry salad, roasted cauliflower, and stuff like that. Gone from the Fridays menu is meat, dairy, and eggs. To those students that love pizza and mozzarella sticks, they will be served, but on other days.
Why no dairy though? Like, what's wrong with
vegan? Like, it's Vegan Fridays.
Not even vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm down with the vegetarian Friday. I think the vegan is a bit much to push on kids. I'm like, I guess that they're getting all the proteins. A lot of that plant-based stuff has a shit ton of protein, and it's great for them. I'm just like, man, you know when you go to school and you ain't eat breakfast and all you wanted was like some pepperoni or something, or just like, can I get a meatball?
But it's just Fridays for now, though. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
But Friday's the best day.
That's right.
Why can't y'all do vegan Monday, bro? Everybody hate Monday anyway.
That is facts. Now, I didn't think about that shit. That's true.
Like, if that was my university, I'd be like, why y'all gotta do Friday like that, though?
I feel like it's a great step into the direction because, you know what I'm saying, like, it's been reports, especially HBCU, like, colleges and shit like that. I heard of one, I don't remember where it was off the top of my head right now, but one of them, they stopped, they took all the money from the athletics program just to put it into, like, a health program for kids because there was so many, especially people at the HBCUs that was bigger and shit like that and overweight, and it was like to a point where it's like, all right, bro, we really got to do something.
Why we even put money in the athletics program?
Exactly. Like they specifically diverted, but it was just one college that I know of. But they specifically diverted their funds and shit like that. But I feel like it'd be dope because, you know, especially if you hear foreign comedians, you know, talk about us and shit like that. They always talk. It's funny. They always talk the most shit, but then they over here reaping all the benefits of being an American citizen or you know, being taking up the years that they can occupy on their passport and shit like that. It's funny hearing that. But you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like it's a good step in the right direction for sure. Because people, we really do need to be more health conscious. Because Michelle Obama did it, remember? And that affected us, the My Plate shit.
But she didn't, I feel like she didn't go hard enough on us I feel something.
But at the same time, I feel like it's all with the school budgets. Because the shit...
I was going to say, we ain't get no money.
The only shit we got some lettuce and tomatoes. That was it. You remember that shit? Bitch, we didn't even get a full salad.
If we could have gotten an actual salad.
We didn't even get. We could have got sliced carrots on the salad. We could have got fucking broccoli or whatever the fuck you want. We just got some lettuce.
Dude, I would have eaten
2 tomatoes,
canned carrots or something.
Yeah,
bro.
like I ain't even gonna count. It ain't no way that shit significantly impacted our meals and how we. No, bro, it ain't no way. It ain't no way. That my plate shit was very. Or our experience with it, it was not all it's cracked up to be. It, like,
it doesn't work when a lot of the kids are eating free lunches, and so the only budget comes from people that are paying and the small amount that the government gives, like the tiny maybe $20 budget for the year. I don't know how much the government would be giving, but with like the fucking lettuce and the tomato, it felt like they might have given the school like $200 a month or something.
You'd be lucky if you got a ranch pack.
that would be the only thing to make it good. Up, bro.
Yeah, like it really be like a quarter of a regular size salad. It'd be like
you had to get there fast.
Yeah, in the little servings. It's like, bro, bitch, I look forward to the mozzarella sticks with the dipping sauce. I look forward to the chicken wing. Remember the hot wings day? The little pizzas.
I look forward to the food that actually looked like some edible ass food, bro.
Like some shit with some protein or wheat in it or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying, bitch?
I really hope that vegan day sounds better because a lot of that stuff has got, like I said, hella proteins in it.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's more proteins than you'll get out of some meat, believe it or not, because it's got less fats and it's more pure proteins.
Exactly. Like the black bean rice bowls, the spinach and cranberry salad. And
that shit sound good,
and
man.
the roasted cauliflower. Like, I ain't gonna lie, roasted cauliflower, that shit don't sound good.
That does not sound good.
I fuck with the spinach and cranberry salad and the black bean rice, but black bean and rice, I fuck with that.
They could have just hooked me up with some broccoli. I'd be like,
yeah. But even that, like, they said broccoli is a hybrid. It ain't no wild broccoli tree. They said that shit is lab made, so it's, cauliflower probably too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just look at how it's made and, built.
Wonder cauliflower is like the wild and like the broccoli is like the hybrid.
It said some carrots are purple. I think they said they was originally purple or some shit.
Yeah, they were like purple. I saw like black ones and shit back in the day.
It's probably bigger too because, almost everything we touch is GMO. Right?
Yeah, we definitely be making like carrots look pretty and shit. But some of that was just the way that we like mixed them because they were like just some of them were like some of them are pretty, but a lot of them used to have like this wild like white flour on the top and shit like this. Yeah, they got a whole color wheel. You got some browns, you got some blacks, you got some white carrots, yellow. So the orange carrot really isn't. I don't think that's one of the most wild carrots. Like, that's a very rare wild carrot.
It should grow different in different environments as well. It should could be bigger or smaller, Shit in the Amazon, they say it's like way bigger and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. It's like bananas. Like how there used to be a shit ton of different bananas and banana flavors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now we all primarily eat like one banana.
It makes sense. Normally try to fuck with the one that say organic, but motherfuckers, you never know, man. But the last topic I got is give me an unpopular opinion that you feel like you have, like something.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta think about that for a second.
I feel you. Me too. An unpopular opinion. I can give one, but it's some light shit. I said it before. I don't believe in trusting one party or any party, political party to be exact, to be my fucking savior and be my Jesus. You be like, oh yeah, we really need a Republican or a Democrat or an independent in that bitch. No, I believe the way it works, bitch, you need Congress, you know what I'm saying? Those are the majority really rules behind the fucking scenes that really sign off on laws and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be one fucking person. We don't live in a dictatorship. But niggas think just because we got a president, we do live in a dictatorship. That's an unpopular opinion I got. I'm going to give another one that's try to be a little deeper.
I mean, go for it.
I think rapists should be murdered. Death penalty. I don't understand why pedophiles and niggas that was on the Chris Hansen show was getting only 2-3 years or maybe getting probation and shit like that for doing one of the most heinous acts you can even think of.
I was gonna say my unpopular opinion. It's very similar. You remind me of something I was talking about last night. Is is the fact that we don't feel comfortable with the death penalty, but we are more than comfortable going over to other countries and killing other people's citizens and children and stuff like that.
And raping and pillaging.
We're cool with going to Afghanistan, and I'll blow up a village in Afghanistan. But the death penalty in America. Ooh, don't hurt a fucking American citizen now.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah, that bullshit.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I most definitely agree with that. But I don't feel like that's unpopular. I feel like anybody that really know what's really going on, niggas know what's up. But at the same time, the media depicts us as like, oh, yeah, we're going over here because we're trying to save these people, but all the while we're really trying to rape and pillage their shit, take their oil, take their land. And
the army ads, though, got them being the brave and the bold.
Join the army so you can protect your country. Shut the... Man, I wish I would do that bullshit. Not even just for America. I feel like this, no matter if I was born in Yemen, Africa, whatever the fuck, Europe, UK...
I just need them to stop acting like they the brave and the bold. We can, like, there's some other jobs that are the brave and the bold.
Yeah.
We got the fucking EMS, we got the firefighters, we got the fucking police.
We got tech support.
We got tech support.
No,
I'm motherfucking brave.
It sounds funny, but no.
I'm motherfucking brave.
Cap, bitch, whenever my server's going too slow, my high speed data ain't working, call up. How can I help you, sir? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Them motherfuckers be lifesavers.
You ain't gotta go to another country and go kill someone's little boy for me to, like, praise you or nothing. Like, you can do something here and I'll be just as happy.
Yeah. And then we hear stories about, you know what I'm saying, the dark side of that. Motherfuckers having PTSD, watch movies with that theme and shit like that.
It's the lack of fucking money the government puts aside for helping these guys that are done with their cause.
But they spend trillions every year for missiles and shit like that, though.
This man spent 20 years fucking his brain up.
Fuck you after you serve. You can be a homeless veteran. We
don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck.
Thank you for Nam. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Holy shit. Like, y'all, whoever runs that budget, whatever group runs that budget, y'all need some help. Y'all need some more help.
But it ain't no perfect democracy or meritocracy or whatever autocracy. It ain't no perfect... stencil that we can see and, you know, observe. And
I don't remember what it is. It's not technically not a democracy anymore.
Yeah. We don't live in a democracy. We really live in a monarchy. All societies are monarchies. All of them.
We're currently being robbed.
Get out!
Get out!
You faggot!
Ninjas.
What did you say?
I said ninjas.
Nah, say it again.
I can't say that.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. How you doing?
Guest starring
A sad nigger.
Oh, you can't even put it on YouTube now, man.
I most definitely can, and I will.
And we will.
Wait, really?
Fuck cancel culture, bro. It's not real.
Yeah, fuck
not
cancel
real.
culture, man.
It's not real.
It's not real.
That was Theodis' hot topic earlier.
Oh God, yeah, before I even cut on the cameras. Cancel culture, I said that shit.
It's not real.
That's cool.
I feel like we killed that shit. No cap, man. Me and Ben, we killed that shit.
I just got here, but I know they killed that shit.
Yeah, for sure. We about to sign out, bro. Conversations, you know what it is, nigga.
Yes, sir.
For a new episode, know you probably waiting. Plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned into Bro Conversations.